Greetings friends, it's Mr. Koga and I'm back with our distance learning video for Thursday, May 28th, 2020, and it is our 12th distance learning video in this series, I think. I don't know. I'm losing my mind in quarantine. Okay, for this video I just wanted to show you a quick little update of our backyard garden area since you guys have gotten to know it so well. First thing right here, a little plumeria plant. I got it when it was a twig and now it has a leaf. Growth. We have a pomegranate tree. Make sure you keep this thing watered because if it's not watered, it will start dropping all of the little pomegranate flower berry things. A tomato plant looking pretty good. Sorry it's a mess back here, but you know, it's a garden, how it should be. Some giant green onions. Look in the green onion forest. It's like we're a little animal in the forest. A yellow squash that are just exploding. They look amazing here. We have some lettuce. Okay, lettuce, typically lettuce is about this tall. And as you can see, our plants are about this tall. And here's my arm for a reference. Okay, anyway, let's go over what we're going to be doing today. We're going to have 3 things and 1 extra thing for you to enjoy. So the first thing is this thing called multiplication foundation. So basically what it is I'm going to be explaining multiplication in terms that make sense to me, because math is all about making meaning. It's about generating meaning that makes sense to you personally. Okay, math is a very personal subject. It's not seen that way, but it is. So we're gonna learn about multiplication. Second thing is a fun art activity called the Drawback Challenge. So basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. Someone is gonna draw on your back and you're gonna have to recreate their drawing by feeling the pen on your back. Kind of fun. Okay, third thing we're gonna do is a read aloud of one of Mr. Koga's favorite books by my favorite author, Mo Willems. It's called Nanette's Baguette. If you don't know what a baguette is, here's a picture of one. Ding! Right there. Okay, so it's about a girl named Nanette and her adventure with a baguette. And we'll see what happens there. The last thing is the outro video. I usually put a cool extreme sports GoPro point of view action clip at the outro, and this one is one of the best ones I've ever seen. So that's our video for today. We have 3 things you got to do, 1 thing you got to enjoy, and let's get into it. All right. Greetings, this is Mr. Koga and I'm here today with multiplication foundation. I love a good rhyme. So basically, this part of the video, we're going to talk about multiplication and just get an understanding of how I personally, Mr. Koga, how I make sense of it. Because in mathematics, the most important thing in math is making sense of problems, of numbers, and it's just about generating meaning. So as long as you have an understanding that makes sense to you, that's one of the most important things in math. It's not about learning one way or just understanding one perspective of looking at a certain problem. It's about understanding multiple ways or ways that make sense to you. Okay, so we're gonna look at multiplication today. And I figured, you know, a lot of people enjoy using candy metaphors. So I have my favorite candy, which is Smarties. I think if I looked in this package correctly, there should be 15 Smarties. And no, eating a bunch of these do not make you smarter, so don't try to pull that on your parents. Okay, I think there's 15 in here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna create what's called an array. So an array is basically just if you lined up a bunch of items or you made a bunch of dots in a grid shape. So it's rows and columns. Rows go across, columns go up and down. Okay, so we're gonna put these Smarties into rows and columns. Okay, so as we can see here, I took the Smarties out of the package and there were 15 of them. So I organized them into 3 rows that have 5 Smarties each. I could describe it that way. So on this side I'll write a 3, because I do have 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. But then if I looked at it from this way, if I looked at it vertically, up and down, I see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Okay, so I could either count them by 5s, but if I go across here, I know there's 5 in each row, so 5, 10, 15. Or you can count them vertically by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So basically, multiplication is just repeated addition of equal groups. That's all multiplication is. It's just repeated addition. So let's write that definition real quick. Okay, so repeated addition of equal groups. So let's look here. If we went across here, we'd have 5 plus 5 plus 5. Okay, 5 plus 5 plus 5. How many times did we see 5? 3 times. So basically what that can also be saying is 5 3 times. And both of these equal 15. But now let's look at it the vertical way. If I counted by threes, I would be adding 3 5 times. So instead I'd be going like this. And another way to express that, if I wanted to do it with the multiplication way, so do you see how this 3 talks about the number of times the other number showed up? Okay, let me just put a box around that so I don't get too confused. So now let's look at how many threes there are. There's 5 threes. So now it's 3 5 times. And that also equaled 15. Oops. Okay, so that's the basics of multiplication. All it is just you're adding numbers a bunch of times. So let me try and find some space somewhere here. Let me try and do it right over here. So imagine if these numbers were different. Imagine if we had, let's say, like 4 and 6. So I would cut this into 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'd cut this into 4 pieces like this. So here we made a grid. It kind of looks similar. You see how it's organized like in rows and columns? It's organized the same. So now let's try and look at it from the adding perspective. So now if I say 4 6 times, that's all you're saying is you're adding 4 6 times over and over and over. So that's what that's saying. And an easier way to write that, if you want to write it like a multiplication problem, is like this. So these two things are basically the same. It's just that this is showing it in a different way, okay? I think just this jump between understanding this means this, that's the hardest jump, is translating this image in your head into these numbers or symbols. Because numbers are technically symbols. If an alien came to planet Earth and they looked at this, they wouldn't know what it is, because this is something that humans created to understand the world. So, yeah, making that jump from seeing this visual to understanding this written form is a big jump. Okay, so now what I want to do is clear off this area, and I want to put up a few problems for you to try and practice. So I'm going to give you some problems that look like this, that will have 4 times 6 or 3 times 5. And what I would like you to do is visualize it by drawing rows and columns. So if I gave you a problem like 3 times 5, you would draw 3 dots 5 times, or 5 dots 3 times. They are the same thing, okay? All right, here come the problems. Oh God, why? All right, we'll leave that there. All right, so there's 4 problems here. What I'd like for you to do is attack this one. Figure out that one. Can you do this one? And let's challenge ourselves with this guy right here, okay? All right, so now you have a foundation for multiplication, and if anyone ever comes up to you and asks, do you know your multiplication times tables or something? You tell them, I don't know, I don't have them memorized, but I could figure it out, okay? All right, so these are your problems to enjoy. If you're in my class, please upload this to Seesaw. I would love to see your work, okay? All right, on to the next segment. Have a good one. All right, So for today's drawback challenge, you might think, what is a drawback challenge? And it's exactly what it sounds like. You're basically going to ask a family member to tape a piece of paper to your back. You're gonna hold a piece of paper in front of you, and they're gonna draw on your back, and you're gonna have to use the feeling of them drawing on your back to try and draw the same exact picture, as you can see in this video here. So if you follow exactly the motions of what your partner is doing, you should be able to draw a perfect picture. But I'm going to show you the next clip. Mrs. Koga helped me out to draw like a certain picture, and you'll see how I did, and it was very surprising. It was a lot harder than I thought. Okay, so this is going to be a fun activity you can do with any age group, any family member, or any friend, anyone you know who you can see right now, and it's just a fun little activity to do with them. Okay, all right, here's the clip of me trying to do this activity and not doing the best at it, but that's okay. All right.
Terrible.
And the reveal. Take it off me. Oh, I had a feeling too. I had a strong feeling that she was drunk.
When you get to here, you can
Alright.
see it.
Well, give it a shot with your family. Greetings, this is Mr. Koga, and I'm here with the read aloud for one of my favorite books by Mo Willems, who you might know from Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus or the Elephant and Piggy series. This book is called Nanette's Baguette. So this is the character Nanette here, and this is a baguette. You've probably seen it, just a long piece of bread that's very crispy on the outside, and it's very kind of a big loaf of bread. Alright, so let's open the book. Nanette's Baguette. So this is the inside of the cover. And what's cool is if you actually have this book, you can see that all these little houses and trees are actually just made from paper. And they're just, like they're actually built, but they're flat. And he just took a picture of this little scenery with a regular camera. So it's not like it's drawn on there or anything. He actually made these and just put them up and took a picture of it. And this is one of my very special books because this one is actually signed by Mo Willems. And I actually have a collection of signed books by Mo Willems because he is my favorite author, so you can see here. And yeah, so love this book by Mo Willems. Let's get into it. Nanette. Today is the day Nanette won't soon forget. Today in the kitchenette, Mom tells Nanette that Nanette gets to get the baguette. So this is a rhyming book, if you can't tell. Baguettes are warm. Baguettes smell wonderful. Getting to the baguette is Nanette's biggest responsibility yet. Is Nanette set to get the baguette? You bet. But on the way, Nanette sees Georgette, and Suzette, and Brett with his clarinet. Look, there's Mr. Barnett with his pet, Antoinette. Nanette pets Antoinette. Did Nanette forget the baguette? Got a jet, I've got a baguette to get, says Nanette to the quartet. Quartet means four people, because quar is the same as quarter, so four. Baker Juliet has met Nanette. She knows it is Nanette's first baguette get. So Juliet gets Nanette the best baguette yet. Nanette, did you get the baguette? You bet. The baguette is warm. The baguette smells wonderful. And there sure is a lot of it. Uh-oh. Crack! This is called an onomatopoeia. If it's a sound word, like it describes a sound, then it's an onomatopoeia. I'll point out a couple more in this book. The baguette is warm. The baguette tastes wonderful. And there still is a lot of it. Dun, dun, dun. Crack! Onomatopoeia. The baguette is still warm. The baguette still tastes wonderful. And there still is some of it. Can Nanette stop tasting the baguette? Not yet. Crack, 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 crack. Baguette. Oh no! There is no more baguette. Nanette begins to fret. Will Mom be upset? Will Mom regret she let Nanette get the baguette? Kaboom! Onomatopoeia. Now Nanette is wet. Wet with no baguette. This is as bad as it can get. Nanette wishes Mom had never let Nanette get that baguette. Maybe Nanette will move to Tibet. Tibet is very far away. Tibet is as far away as you can get. Nanette would need a jet. Can Nanette go home instead? Can Nanette face her mom? What will she do? Where's the baguette? Asked Mom. Did you forget? Nanette did not forget. Nanette is upset. Nanette is beset with regret. She sweats. I ate the baguette. Why? Oh, sweetie. Mom hugs Nanette. It is warm. It is wonderful. Like a million baguettes. The day's not over yet, Nanette, says Mom. Let's reset. Yes, let's. Baker Juliet is surprised to see Nanette, but not too surprised. Nanette's mom gets another baguette. Now they are all set. Mom, Nanette, and a baguette. The baguette is warm. The baguette smells wonderful. Uh-oh. Crack! Today is a day Nanette won't soon forget. Mom! Uh-oh. Sounds like her mom. That's where Nanette gets it from, I guess. So that was Nanette's Baguette, Words and Pictures by Mo Willems. Alright, that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoy this outro video. It is an insane video. One of the best GoPro videos I've seen in a long time, and has the best drone shot I've ever seen, period, hands down. Alright, have a good weekend.
It's made almost like a perfectly straight down cave. You get longer down the middle, you're actually landing in deep water. But the boil that's creating from the water just hitting the sides of that pool, it's a stout boil. Woo! Woo!